Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.
Hello friends, welcome to Fairfield Today. Paul Jasson with you. Thank you for joining us as we get well into the kind of the Easter time season, the things that are going on here. We're glad you're with us today. Beautiful spring day out here as we begin taping at Fairfield Federal downtown. We're going to talk about one of the really good organizations in Lancaster that does good around Lancaster and Fairfield County and has done that for well over 100 years. That's Maywood Mission, just a couple miles or a mile or so down the road here on South Broad Street. And it's a pleasure to have with us Executive Assistant Aaron Roberts with us. Aaron,
Hello.
welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
Thanks for having me.
Good, thank you. You're kind of a jack of all trades down there. He is really the assistant for Jonathan Hanks, who's the executive director. Couldn't be with us today, but certainly having Aaron here, he is kind of the life support system. If you want to know what's going on, you just go to Aaron down there, and he's got his hand in about every pie and that's a big pie with Maywood Mission, because they do so many things. So, and we've got some things to talk about now that going on at the mission, some important stuff. But let's just take a quick look back. How was 2024? Was that a big year, a good year for the mission?
Yeah, I'd say it was a big year. I think every year, at least since I've come on in 2022, has been growth every year in every area. We had a huge year for our daycare, probably, as far as I know, the highest enrollment that any of us can remember at our daycare. Huge area of growth for our food pantry, which we're going to talk about in a moment. Every area in the mission. The thrift store had a big year, so it was very busy. A lot of needs in our city that we were able to meet and help people out in, but it's been a fun time, a bit of a wild ride.
Well, as Aaron mentioned, if you know, and I hope you do, know something about, again, for 113, 14 years, something like that down there at Maywood Mission, they have a daycare, they have the food pantry, they've got summer camp, some of the things we'll talk a little bit later on, but they just have their hands in so many pies, and they do such good work in the community, and I think that's recognized by about everyone that knows a little bit about them. So I hope you're on that bandwagon that knows a little bit about them. There was something that came up here when talking with Jonathan about it, and I know a little bit about Maywood Mission, but I hadn't heard of this. It was called the Bridge of Hope. Yeah. It sounds like something that I'm sure does good work, but I don't know anything about it. What is that? Yeah,
so as you know probably, and a lot of people know, we've got a bit of a housing crisis issue in really America, but Lancaster
certainly
as well. And the mission has felt a burden for wanting to serve some people who are struggling with homelessness or pending homelessness. So we are really excited. We're rolling out a new program, which has been quite a while since Maywood has rolled out a new program. We're going to be partnering with an organization called Bridge of Hope. So it'll be Bridge of Hope at Maywood Mission. And what Bridge of Hope does is it serves single mothers who are homeless or are about to be homeless. Mm-hmm. And it's a really neat cooperative program. Basically, what it's going to involve is we're going to hire a case manager. I think she's starting today, maybe.
Okay.
And we're going to be working with her, and there's a Bridge of Hope provides training for our staff. And the way the program works is we'll have moms come in, they'll apply to be in the program, and if they're able to join us, the case manager will work with them to help them, figure out their life, how to provide care for their kids, how to do a budget, normal life skills. And then the mission is going to help pay for some of their housing for up to a year. So we're going to help them find a house. So that's
the bridge.
Exactly. Yep. So we're going to help them find a house. They're going to get a year of housing. We're going to provide, help them again get their life in order. And then a really exciting part of it, the part maybe we're most excited about, is part of the program is a built-in church cooperation element. So we're going to work with local church small groups, and each mom is going to get a small group that's going to come alongside of them and help provide support as well. A lot of people who find themselves homeless or in these situations, they don't have a lot of bridges left.
Sure.
They burn a lot of bridges in their life. And part of this program is to help partner them with local churches to provide a bit of a support network for them. In case the next time a crisis does come up, they've got connections now in the community, people who care about them and can come alongside them and help them out.
I know that's a big deal in that world of when you're out there kind of on your own. If you happen to be in Lancaster and you don't have that support system, you really don't know where to turn.
Exactly.
So now you're saying you can turn to the mission, and they'll connect you with what will become a support system for an entire year.
Yep.
Now, is this a national organization?
Yeah. It's based actually in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a national organization. They've grown quite a bit. They've been doing this for 20 to 25 years. We're really impressed with their organization. And again, the most exciting part for us is we've wanted to bring like case management on and do a little more intentional programmatic help for people who are homeless. And this organization brings the expertise and the experience and the training and all the things that we need to make that happen well. We want to do everything excellently. And so we're excited. We feel like this is a good fit for that.
Last thing on that, I want to get how do you acquire these names? Does that come from 211, or where do you get the names of these? Now, is it young women and young mothers?
Yeah, so it's young mothers.
Okay.
So it's them and their kids.
Okay.
And we're like right on the ground floor of this program. I'm literally working this week to like start getting it off.
Great.
So we're still working out exactly how referrals are going to come, but yes, we're probably going to come through the local organizations. We're already working with churches as well if they run into people. So it'll be a little bit of a community collaborative effort.
So once the word gets out that if you know somebody in that, contact Maywood Mission, and it goes from there.
Yep, that's exactly right.
That's excellent. Yep. Maybe we can have you back sometime and in the future, and we'll see how this is. I hope it's going to go great. It sounds like it's much needed.
Yes, we're very excited.
Another thing, I was talking to you just before we come on. I knew there are a lot of food pantries around. You certainly have a large one down at Maywood Mission and do great work. But a couple things I didn't understand is that 211 calls it a food crisis. I didn't realize that, and maybe we can talk about what that means. But then I also heard from them that they said you have the largest, busiest food pantry in the entire county.
That's right.
That's remarkable. Mm-hmm. That's remarkable. So, and I know you're involved with this. So, what is a food crisis? I guess just the amount of people that are coming all the time.
Yeah, I think it's multiple things. I think we've all experienced the grocery store has not gotten any cheaper. All the food is very expensive.
Eggs. That's all we hear about. Eggs.
Trust me, we hear about eggs all the time. I hear about eggs in my house every day. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so everything's very expensive, and what that's done is people who are already living, paycheck to paycheck or very tight budget-wise, they're feeling the pain of that. And so we've got a lot more people coming into the pantry overall, especially a lot more people that we would consider working. Poor or struggling in that way.
Just under the...
Exactly, just right underneath. So when the prices of things go up, they need a little more help. And so we've felt that. So yeah, we just got a lot more people coming. And on our end, we get all of our food from Mid-Ohio Food Bank, and they're incredible. All the pantries basically do. They're really great, but it costs them a little more, So things have all just gotten a little more expensive, and we're just feeling the pressure of that. All the pantries, not just us. And like you said, we're the biggest, busiest pantry in Fairfield County.
How often do you serve folks down there? How often can people come?
Yeah, it's so we are open 3 days a week, every week. Families can come once a month, and they get a food box with 3 to 5 days worth of food when they come. And we're serving, last year we served about 20,000 individuals over the course of the year. That's a lot of food.
That's unbelievable. Yeah. And I'm sure that was a record year for you.
Yes, every year.
And now it looks like with what we're hearing here, you're on track for that again.
Yeah, we don't expect it to slow down. Definitely.
Yeah, that's amazing. Now, do you get food from other sources? I know there are food pantries around. Well, maybe not food pantries. I don't know, but restaurants and things that give food. Do you get anything from local people?
Yeah, we do. Yep. We have a few things. We have people who contribute canned goods, do drives, that kind of thing. That's helpful. We also partner with like Walmart, Meijer, Giant Eagle, a couple places, and they give us, frozen meats and things.
Sure.
So we do have a couple of local partnerships as well that really help us out.
So I guess that's important, because everything that you can get that's donated is one thing less you have to buy. Which, as you say, and it's true for you. It's not getting any less expensive for you to purchase the food it's getting less expensive for Mid-Ohio. I mean, everybody's feeling the pinch.
Yep.
Well, that's great. I'm so glad it's going well down there. So just do great work. Another one coming up here. Now, here we are in March, and before you know it, summer's right around the corner. And for you and Maywood Mission, that's always a big time for summer camp.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to happen in May?
Yeah, May. Yep. Last year we had, I think, our biggest summer camp that we had, and we're planning to do the same this year. We're expecting around 60 plus kids to be with us all summer. So all of our kids that do before and after school care during the year, they're with us all day during the summer. So it's a blast. They're a great time, but it's a large undertaking. And we don't, they go on field trips all summer. They play outside all summer. They're really active, and again, it's a lot of fun, and we enjoy it. So
what I kind of hear from you saying is that everything you do is almost at a record level this year so far. It seems like every event we've talked about, well, this is the biggest we've ever had, the most we've ever had, the wildest, the crazy. I mean, it's and I guess that's a good thing. I mean, you hate to see all the people come in under such stressful conditions, or moms with children that are struggling to do things. That's always hard to see, and I'm sure it's hard to watch for you folks down there. But you guys have, it's amazing what Maywood Mission does down there. You guys have your hands in a lot of pies.
Yes, it's a blessing. We feel honored and blessed to be able to serve our community this way and be the hands and feet of Jesus in this way. And we just love it. And we're just trying to serve people, and people are struggling, and we want to be there to meet them in that difficulty.
Well, there are very few nonprofits that do it better than you do. I can say that. I'm certainly a big supporter of Maywood Mission. Maywoodmission.org.
Yep, that's right.
Is that it? Maywood Mission got a great website. A lot of this information is on there. Is Bridge of Hope going to be on there? Is it on there?
I'm literally working on it. It's not ready yet, but it will be soon.
Okay, but it will be posted soon.
Yes.
So that's some new program, and I think it's going to be a big one. So watch for that. Aaron, thanks for being with us. Give Jonathan Hanks, the executive director, your big guy down there, our best. I know he's busy as all get out. I mean, he's got a lot. If you think it's busy, you ought to watch these folks. They with your monstrous staff of several people.
Yes, right.
Well, we appreciate your being with us. Thanks for what you do down at Maywood Mission, and we'll have you back on. We want to find out more about Bridge of Hope.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you
Aaron
so much.
Roberts, Maywood Mission. We'll be back in just a moment.
If you've been thinking about getting a home loan, now is the time. Hi, this is Carrie James from Fairfield Federal. Our experienced lenders are here to help you make your vision a reality. For more than 125 years, we've been helping our community achieve home ownership. Fairfield Federal has convenient online application for your home loan, home equity loan, and home equity line of credit needs. Visit fairfieldfederal.com to get started. Fairfield Federal for checking, savings, and home loans. Data charges may apply, subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 402612.
The reason why I do what I do is I love helping people, and I really love to work on understanding and striving to improve the lives of the people in our community. Being in Fairfield County is having a network of people around you.
I am driven by my belief that every individual deserves an opportunity to achieve mental and emotional balance, and I'm very passionate about contributing to that process.
Community, connections, collaboration. The Fairfield County Way.
What makes Fair Hope what it is our staff. It's always a question that we ask, why do you want to be here with us? And what they most always say is, you've touched my life this way. You know, you took care of this person, or I've seen what you've done and I want to do that. And so the staff that have been here know what it takes. They've been on the other side. They see what it takes to make someone comfortable, to make the family comfortable, and really what kind of support they need. And so I think that's what really makes Fair Hope what it is.
Fairfield Medical Center is more than a hospital. We're a health system that's been putting people first for more than a century. From the youngest patients to the eldest, our compassionate team of caregivers are here to support you through every season of life. We are healers, cheerleaders, patient advocates, and champions. Your health is our greatest accomplishment, and we are proud to serve you. Whatever you're searching for, you can find it at Fairfield Medical Center.
March is Developmental Disability Awareness Month, a time to celebrate inclusion, acceptance, and the incredible contributions of individuals with developmental disabilities. Back in 1987, President Reagan called on all of us to take action. And at Fairfield DD, we live that mission every day. This month, we're inviting you to be part of the movement. Join us for exciting events, inspiring stories, and hands-on learning opportunities to help build a more inclusive community. Together, we can create a vibrant community where people lead lives of greater independence and make meaningful contributions. Visit fairfielddd.com to get involved. Let's make a difference, because inclusion starts with all of us.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Welcome back to Fairfield Today. To my immediate right is Micah McCoy. Micah is a board member, and then Holly Lavender is the program director. Right, and so we've got a couple people here, and you can see their shirts, LifeWise. If you've seen the buses, I think we got a picture of some of the buses. We've seen them around the community. So LifeWise Academy is, Holly, we'll go to you first. It's a relatively new, is it within a year that it's been being run down here, 2 years?
This is our second year
Second
in
year.
Lancaster.
Okay.
As a program, it's been around longer
Sure.
in other places, but in Lancaster, we're about midway through our second year.
Now, as I understand it, and I've been fortunate to hear you both of you talk about this before, this is a program where you take elementary school students, and we'll talk about what schools you're in and where you are here, but you take them out during their lunch hours, you transport them to another location where they eat, and then they get some Bible-based training. Would that be accurate?
Yes, we call it Bible-based character education.
Okay.
So there's like positive character qualities that anyone could think of, like humility, responsibility, perseverance, and things like that.
Not necessarily religious, can be secular,
Right.
can be anything.
Yeah, so the things that we like to see in people, but we teach those qualities through Bible lessons. And so it's a lot of it, you could kind of call it Bible history with a character focus.
Yeah, so an example of that could be one of the lessons is on Genesis and the creation of Adam and Eve, the creation of the world. Mm-hmm. So it tells that story, and then it gives the character quality of gratitude and how we should be grateful for God creating everything, but also just in general, as people, we should be grateful for the things that we have in life.
Makes perfect sense to me. So now you're in all the elementary schools in Lancaster? All five elementary schools.
Yes.
And this is your second year, and you've kind of grown into that, and all the elementary schools. How many young people do you have now at this point?
It's a little under 150.
150.
Yeah.
So again, we've seen the buses around the community. So that's what they do. They go at lunchtime?
It's lunchtime, and Lancaster has their recess time right after lunch, and so we take the lunch/recess block.
Okay. And so these people are transported to where?
It's a church that's near, except for
What each
Maywood
school
Mission. So each school has a nearby location that they're transported to a nearby church.
And again, so far, I don't think I've heard anything why anybody would be against anything that we've talked about so far. But you pick these young people up, and they are people that their parents have signed on for you to do this. And I think that's important to know. You're just not, come on with me, kids, we're going to learn about Jesus today. That's not what we're doing here. You've explained it all to the families, and these parents are people that know they want their kids to be involved.
That's right. The law that was passed in the United States, I think it was sometime in the 1950s or something like that, said that a program like this could exist if it was privately funded, parent permitted, and off-school property. So it is those three things.
And you check all those boxes.
Yes.
Yeah. So the kids, you think they enjoyed, obviously I'm going to guess they enjoyed being away from school for an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what it is, an hour and 15?
It's roughly from the time we pick them up to drop them off, if it's about an hour.
Okay, and that's a busy time then. I mean, to get them to where you're going, to take them back and still get something done here. Now, how often do you do that?
It's once a week for each class.
Okay.
And so we have, I think I counted up there's roughly 18 classes altogether.
Boy.
Because some of the schools have combined grades, some of them don't. So we, depending on how the classes schedules are configured, but it's about 18 classes.
So I would guess that being a nonprofit, funding is a big part of what you do, and,
Sure.
and if we have anybody that's just hearing this about this for the first time, how can anybody get involved in some way?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of ways that people can get involved. We're always needing volunteers. Obviously, we're always needing prayer as well. Financially speaking, it's about $30 per student. So if you want to sponsor the program, sponsor a student to attend the program, it's $30. It's totally free for any child who wants to come, but it's not free to
Sure.
do,
You
right?
wouldn't turn anybody away.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So it's $30 per student if you want to sponsor a student, and you can do that just on our website pretty easily.
Okay. And Holly, now you're in Lancaster schools. Where would, if you put a crown on your head, and you're the queen of LifeWise Academy, and you can do whatever you want, what would be the growth you would hope for? Would it be to other county schools? Would it be into junior highs? Where would you like to go?
A lot of the other county schools have a program or are starting one up.
Not necessarily under you. It's
Right,
just the
that's
same thing but
correct.
different.
So each school
Okay.
district has its own program and
Right.
its own program director. So Liberty Union's just getting started.
Okay.
Fairfield Union, Bloom Carroll, Amanda were there before us. But we plan to move into the junior highs. We're
Okay.
hoping to be able to do that next year for Can. We're kind of in a decision,
Sure.
thinking about that right now, and then expand eventually into the high school. But we're kind of trying to follow the kids as they get
Sure.
older. We try to expand so they can continue.
Yeah, because right now we have a good bit of fifth graders who
Right.
want to continue going to LifeWise.
Right.
So we're hoping to be able to have
In the
a
junior
program.
high, 6, 7, and 8?
Yes.
Okay. So, and I think, Micah, you spoke on that before about the boxes that are checked here about taking them off the grounds. Their parents know this is going to happen.
Right.
So I think it would be important to know that the people you've got teaching these classes, they go through some pretty rigorous training and background checks.
Yes, they go through everyone is background checked. The bus drivers, volunteers, the teachers, all of them.
And then they take classes to teach these particular, whatever they're
Yes,
teaching.
they go
Yeah,
through
there's a
some teaching. Yeah,
certification,
there's
yeah.
a teacher certification that LifeWise does for anybody who's going to teach a class.
Yeah.
So do you have, Holly, do you have a curriculum built up, and I'm assuming you do, something that starts at the beginning? Does the entire school year?
You don't get through the entire Bible in one
No,
year.
but I mean the school year.
But yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you just pick and choose points that you think are important for these young people to know.
It's pretty much already kind of sequenced out. We have some options of if we're trying to cover it in less time, there's some recommendations, hit these lessons, and that way the kids can still get the gist of everything that's going on. But it basically kind of starts at the beginning and works through the Judges and then the Kings and then eventually to the New Testament with Jesus. And kind of to show, how does this stuff all tie together?
Yeah.
The curriculum is a LifeWise specific adaptation
Right.
of a curriculum known as, I think it's the Gospel Project, that a lot of churches use as well. But the Gospel Project has partnered with LifeWise and adapted a specific curriculum that goes through the whole Bible, and each specific program can choose how fast they want to go
Right.
through the whole Bible. So you could go through the whole Bible in 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, depending on how fast you want to go. I think our program's on track to do it in like 4 years.
Yeah,
Go
roughly
through
4
So if a
years.
child were to join LifeWise in first grade, by the time they get to fourth grade, they would have gone through the whole Bible.
My guests are Holly Lavender and Micah McCoy. They're with LifeWise Academy. And I'm guessing that the young people that go to this, and you have quite a few attending, you see a lot of different places in their walk in the church. You probably see some people, this is brand new to them. They've never seen anything like it. Their parents have just advocated for this and want them in it. But then I'm sure you see young people that are very hip and up to date on the Bible.
Yeah. We have some kids who have attended church since infancy. We have some who their family may or may not attend church, and we hear from the kids that this is the first time that they had heard about Noah or some of the characters
Sure.
that we talk. So we have a little bit of everything when
Sure,
it comes to
I'm sure.
experience. Micah can maybe speak to that more.
Yeah, I think it's also important to say there too that we do have some students that don't know anything about the Bible, and maybe their parents don't go to church, but their parents just think, hey, this is a good program to send my kids to. I think it's important to also say that we are never pressuring kids to make a decision to follow Jesus, or saying, hey, you need to get baptized, or not pressuring. We leave that up to the churches to do, to have conversations with children about giving their life to Christ or getting baptized. We kind of leave that up to them.
There's no
We're
big
more
come
just
to
teaching
Jesus
the Bible.
moment here. You come down to the altar and do things like
Yeah, we're just teaching the Bible and character-based education.
And I'm assuming, and again, nothing's ever 100%, but I would assume that being as you're in maybe your second year and getting your really footing down on this, the acceptance has been pretty high, I would think. You've always got some naysayers that are again, but I would think that the parents have been pretty happy with what their kids come home to them and talk about.
Oh yeah, there's been a lot of reports. At the end of last year, I think we sent out a survey for parents to take and give us feedback, and so many parents said their kids were coming home excited about what they learned and sharing it with them at home, and then getting excited for next week. And if there's ever like a snow day on the day of LifeWise, kids are super disappointed because they were excited to go to LifeWise, and they wear their red LifeWise shirts. And so we've had a lot of positive feedback for sure.
We have some parents who say that's the best part of their day, and that LifeWise needs to be here.
Well, I'm sure that's just music to your ears when you hear that, because that's why you're here, and that's why you got involved.
Just walking around town, if we happen to be wearing a shirt, nice shirt, so.
Well, I think you're just doing good work here. It's so needed in the community to give, and again, there's no pressure. I mean, these are parents have decided this is a great thing, and bring it on.
Right, that's right.
And I would imagine that the kids that maybe, if this is their first year, they only get 1 year of it, they're the ones that are saying, gosh, where the first graders, second graders got years to go on this.
Yeah, the fifth graders are really wanting to continue, right? Yeah, for sure.
It's LifeWise Academy is the program. It's I know Maywood Mission, we give them a plug here. I know they have been here from day one and kind of institutional in getting this going, and the teachers and the people you have here, they always need volunteers, they always need donations, like every nonprofit. It's a struggle right here. Look them up, everything's on the website, you can find all that. You're doing good work.
Yes. And if I could just say, like you said, we're always looking for volunteers. And so if you're watching and you are at a church, you go to church and you're looking for something to do throughout your week, it's not a huge time commitment, 1 or 2 hours every week, and it's a very, very fulfilling experience to serve.
You'll find something for everybody to do.
That's right.
That's right. Not hard to do.
Right. So again, LifeWise Academy, my guest Holly Lavender and Micah McCoy here with us. Thanks for joining us. Get you back on here, and we'll talk about as the school year's going. We're getting kind of midway through it here, heading almost toward the summer now. I mean, we're getting to the end. You guys go right up to the end of the school year.
Almost to the end. Yeah, the end of the school year at the elementaries can get a little crazy sometimes.
A little hyped up, I get that. Anyway, you're doing great work.
To the end.
Thanks for what LifeWise Academy does, and best of luck and success in the future here.
Thank you.
LifeWise Academy, our segment today. Thanks for joining us on Fairfield Today.
Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.